if you're worried about how going alcohol free will affect your social life, this should help. I'm currently traveling and I am in Vegas. And last night it was a big, big win for me. So if you've been following my journey, and hopefully you're on your own journey of a similar path, since the beginning of the year, I've been more diligent about going alcohol free. And after the dry January, I continued that into February. My big concern was going on a trip. I traveled alone, which I do on a regular basis, and usually alcohol, a glass of wine, a glass of bubbles, is a great social lubricant. That's how they call the booze. Whether you're in the airport having lunch and you want a glass of wine, or maybe you're out around at a networking event like this one, or a social event with a lot of people you don't know, having a drink in hand eases that social anxiety and social discomfort just being around people you don't know. Whether it's a great group like the one I'm a part of, or somebody you're not really comfortable around, being around strangers is just, kudos to you if you do it on your own as well. Anyways, so in this update, I wanted to share my big, big win on the sober, curious journey. There are a lot of names for it, but my goal is to cut back alcohol to the point of cutting it completely out and not needing it. A friend of mine said it beautifully the other week, and it really stuck with me. She said she's been on a similar journey, similar path, and since the beginning of the year, she quit drinking altogether. She lives in the Keys and works in a restaurant industry, so high five and good job for that decision. But truly, her point was it is easier not to drink at all than to cut back to the point of having to obsess. Is it a good time to drink? Is it the occasion I should be drinking? How much is not too much? Is it one drink, two drinks? Is it once a week? Is it special occasions? What are special occasions? So, like, I noticed that too in the process of cutting back, but giving myself permission to have a glass of wine or a beverage, adult beverage, when I feel like it, or the event or occasion is special enough, just gave me more decisions to make. And decision fatigue is a real thing. When we're trying to decide on too many things all the freaking time, we get tired. And deciding whether to drink, not to drink has been just exhausting. And there are enough decisions to be made in real life, so that was just burdening me down. So I decided on this trip, not making big announcements, but give it a try to travel, spend this week away with zero alcohol. Yesterday was a big test. After a day of conference and event sessions, we had a special reception at a bar. I'm in Vegas. Everything is a bar. It's a 3-story building, alcohol, bar on every level, music, a lot of strangers. Great, friendly crowd. I love being a part of it, but nevertheless, strangers all around. And booze helps. Booze eases the anxiety. And the big exciting part for me, which is a different story, I got to meet the person who puts on the event, and it's kind of a big deal. I'm a big fan, respect and value his work, have been following him for a long time. So getting up front and personal was very exciting. I'm not a fangirl, generally speaking. Celebs, musicians don't really hype me up, but I respect this human and his team so much for the work he does. For, again, different story, not the point. The point is, I was hyped up, I was excited, and of course a little nervous. But I did not drink one drink. I asked the bartender if they had some NA options. He said they did not, but he was happy to offer me a club soda, which he did at no charge. I was happy to pay for whatever they could have given me, but it was NA beverage. I had something in my hand. I wasn't thirsty. I didn't look awkward, and you know how, like, when you don't know what to do with your hands. So I had something to hold on to, and after a while, it's like, this is just a mask. This is just putting a layer, removing your discomfort instead of dealing with that. And again, I'm not talking about having an addiction or an issue with alcohol. It's just something I'm trying on for health reasons. And truly, I want to be 100% on, 100% present. This trip was a big commitment, time and money wise. I am learning a lot. There was a lot to process, and it's Vegas, a lot to take in. So, bogging myself down with the sluggishness you feel, even if you had just one or two in the morning, just wasn't part of the gig. But I didn't want to put too much pressure on myself, and I told myself, if I feel like having a drink, I will. Just because, enough stress, if I feel like that would really help me, I would. And this is a question I've been using a lot lately. Shout out to therapy world. What would be helpful in the moment? And putting the pressure off and like removing weird expectations, but just asking yourself. And when we ask ourselves questions, we give ourselves a lot of clarity and a lot of answers. So highly recommend what would be helpful in the moment. And when I have that inclination, it's like grabbing a glass of wine would be easy, but would it be helpful? What would be helpful in the moment? And I was like, okay, just capture the excitement, harness the discomfort, and push through it. So I had a great time. Get to meet my role model in the marketing world. Got to meet a couple of people, and I was done. I didn't need to linger till the bar closed. I didn't need to be the first person in or out. I just hung around. When I felt like I had enough experience, dancing, music, food, I just left. Got up today early, bright and early, feeling absolutely clear, no weirdness. And truth be told, if you've traveled across the time zones, you know how jet lag is enough to handle. Then the climate is different, not humid enough, too humid, cold, hot. Like your body goes through a lot. And alcohol doesn't really help. Again, this is not me shaming anybody for drinking, choosing to drink, not willing to give up, enjoying the booze. But if you are curious, if you're sober curious, if you're considering cutting back or completely cutting it out, it shouldn't be cold turkey, in my humble opinion, in my experience. But cutting back and keep asking yourself those questions. Can I handle this day without alcohol? If I am around a certain group of people and I need to drink when I'm with them, maybe it's the people. Get the people that you don't need to be drinking around and challenge yourself. Try it on for size, like going out and not drinking. And again, strangers, I don't have to explain myself. Nobody's standing there watching or testing my beverage. Does it have alcohol or not? So it was super cool. I'm very proud of myself. And if you're on the journey and looking for a little encouragement, I hope this video serves you, and that experience served me a lot. So I hope you try it for yourself as well. All right, we're off to the session for the day. If you have any thoughts or comments on the subject, please share below, and I'll be back with the next video log probably before we leave the Vegas for the week.